Hello there, friends. I'm Kendra Winchester. Welcome back to the wonderful chaos that is my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the end of year book tag. This is a tag originally started by Ariel Bissett. I just saw Jen Campbell do this, which is what gave me the idea. So I thought I would go through and give you my answers, and that'll help you give you a better, bigger picture of my reading year since I just started filming again, I think around the end of August, beginning of September. So yeah, let's just jump right in. Everything will be linked down in the description box, and I will also include the questions there so you can give me your questions in the comments or link the videos that you've made with your answers. So let's get started. My handy dandy notebook that apparently matches my decentralized publishing t-shirt from Hub City Press. Big fan, so gotta represent, I guess. All right, so the first question for the end of year book tag is, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? And that is yes. Yes, there are lots of them. But the two biggest ones would be The End of August by Hugh Miri, and this is translated by Morgan Giles. This is by an author who is of Korean heritage but is writing in Japanese, and this has been pitched as kind of like an own voices pachinko of how Korean people were colonized by Japan and how that still affects them today. So this is about running, and I've started the audiobook, and the problem I'm finding is that the prose includes inhale, exhale to create the rhythm of the prose. And so it's supposed to imitate the characters running. And so sometimes that sounds really weird on audio. I would love to know more of what you all think of this. Like, is this working for you? Is it not? I am not sure still. I definitely say if you want to do this on audio, maybe check this out from the library or something, because if I did not have the text, I would have no idea what's going on. So, and I think that's just by the nature of the experimental quality of the prose, but obviously that's, if that's available to you, I think you could follow along on audio if you wrote down some names or different things. So there's a lot of different strategies, but it is something that takes a lot of focus on audio. The other one that I am currently reading that I need to finish is The Iliad by Homer, but this is Emily Wilson's translation, and oh my word, the audiobook is by Audra McDonald, the most decorated performers of our time, particularly for the stage. It's a magnificent audiobook. Why did I even read the Iliad in text when I can experience it as it was originally meant, which was to be recited? Oh, it's so good. It's so good. So, but it is long. It's very long. So I'm gonna keep moving forward on those two. And then the last one is Hallie Hill's Good Women. This has been blurred by Disha Filial, and I would say that is a good comp title for this book. This is a collection of stories written by a Black Appalachian author from Tennessee, and yeah, so far it is amazing. And of course, this is from Hub City Press, same people who designed the shirt, and they are a local press here in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Okay, so question 2. Do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? I'm recording this late, I guess, for this tag, but the book I really transitioned into autumn with was The Good House by Kennery Dew. This is a stunning novel about a Black woman who has this house that she inherited from her grandmother, and she has returned, she went there every summer growing up, so she returned there as an adult with her son. Her husband, who she's been separated from for a few years, also comes to the house. They kind of reconnect, rekindle things, and they have their 4th of July party, and everything goes wrong. That's kind of like the prologue. And then the rest of the novel is set at least a year or two later. She's deciding, like, okay, I think I'm going to sell the house. So what do I do? Like, do I want to do that? How does one even start selling a house that's been in my family for ages? And that really starts this whole novel off, and it's very, I don't even know what to call it, but the house is a character in itself. It's very creepy. It's wonderful. It is just a creepy haunted house story with a lot of depth. And I am so happy I finally read it. This is the copy that Gwen chewed. This is a first edition hardback copy. I was very upset. I bought a second one, but it's not the same. Anyway, it's a mess. It is a mess. And a book that I am currently reading for the Read or Dead podcast, which I co-host, which is Book Riot's mystery, thriller, and horror podcast. I am reading Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Cañas, and it is beautifully autumnal. It's like horror light. I'm not sure. I'm not really the best person, I realize, to talk about that. I don't specialize in horror, but I'm new to horror and I'm very much enjoying it. Okay, are there new releases that you were still waiting for? Today, I'm recording this day before Jesmyn Ward's Let Us Descend comes out. As many of you already know, Jesmyn Ward is my favorite living author. So excited. That's really the number one I'm looking for. There are several other ones that are coming out later this year, but that is the one that I am so excited for. I'm not in a rush to read it though. I will take my time. That's why I don't already have a copy in my hot little hands, is because I want to take my time with this book, because we don't always get a new Jesmyn Ward, and I've read everything else she's written. Anyway, yes. All right, question 4. Are there three books you want to read before the end of the year? Apparently, I missed the whole 3 situation because I wrote down about a dozen titles. So I'm going to pick my top titles from that. And that would probably be... I want to read Blackwater Falls by Osman Zahana Khan. This is kind of a return to mystery. I didn't really jive with her fantasy novels. And so I've been waiting for her to go back to the mystery genre, and so I'm so excited for this one. So I can't wait to read it. And also this book 2 in the series is coming out this year, so I wanted to go back, read the first one. I've never read it before, and then move into the second one. I really enjoyed the novel The Unquiet Dead by her, which was the first book in her... I cannot remember what series it was, but it was the first series, the mystery series that she did, and I really enjoyed it. The next one I would say, How to Say Babylon by Safia Sinclair. This is a memoir, and it's about this woman who grows up in a very strict Rastafarian household, and how her father abhorred anything from the West, and it's just a really unique story of her upbringing. And I have had my eye on this for months, and then it was selected as like a book club with Jenna pick. I don't know, but now it's everywhere, and now I feel like I am behind in this, but I know it's a memoir that I'll want to savor and read slowly. And the last one is The Bee Sting by Paul Murray. Yes, this is the Paul Murray that wrote Skippy Dies. This is supposed to be a family saga type novel. And I've been really disappointed with a lot of the long listed Booker titles for the last few years. I find it very frustrating because I care too much. That's the whole point. Is like I enjoy awards too much and I care too much. That's been frustrating. But for some reason, this book has stuck out to me. So there are other books I have on this list from that award long list, and from the National Book Award long list. But that's the one that really sticks out to me for whatever reason. I haven't been able to read it yet because it just became available on audiobook a couple weeks ago. Anyway, I digress. That's the other one. Question 5 is there a book you think that could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? 100%. It's not over until it's over, right? So it totally could be a book that I absolutely love that shocks me, becomes my favorite book of the year. There are so many options. And I usually do a lot of reading between Christmas and New Year's in that kind of like dead week between the holidays. And so I don't know what's going to happen, but my in-laws are coming for Christmas, which means that we'll go to my parents' house either in late December or early January. So I'm not sure how that's all going to play out, but I'm already planning my TBR for Christmas break, even though technically as someone who no longer goes to school or has children in school, like I don't get a Christmas break, but you get the idea. All right, so you already started making reading plans for next year. That is question 6. So have I already started making reading plans for next year? Absolutely, I have. Absolutely. This is my Hobonichi weeks. I've been using Hobonichi Cousin and Hobonichi A6 this year for different projects, and I don't actually use them as planners for the most part. I've started to do that in my Cousin because I had a moleskin for this year, and so I'm getting rid of the moleskin, and I switched everything around. But I realized I wanted a planner dedicated to books to help me keep track of what's coming out, what my reading plans are for the year. So this is actually a Hobonichi Weeks Mega, which gives extra pages in the back. Now, just as fair warning, I am not an aesthetic planner girly or journaler. My handwriting is terrible. It was terrible before my hands went to crap because of joint issues. But I have planned a whole situation with my goals for the reading year, and I have taken all the books you see behind you. I've taken off the shelves, written in this journal, or gotten rid of. Like, that was the whole process, and I've done that for about over a month now. And so I have so many pages. This is just my top TBR, right? I have new books. I have pages for new books. I have pages for books I want to reread. I have lists of authors I want to read and all of the books by that author I want to read. Like, it is ridiculous. I have so many. So I haven't really decided what I want to do for this booktube channel. Like, do I want to have a series on booktube? Do I want to, like, I don't know. Do I want to do a reread of Virginia Woolf? If you have ideas that you would like me to look into, definitely let me know and I'll work on it. But yeah, so much is happening. So I'm going to read you my top goals, but I don't want to spoil it too much for my end of the year, like the suite of videos that comes out of like the best books of 2023, my reading plans for 2024. Only this year I'm doing 2 videos. I'm doing a video for 2022 and 2023, and then planning for 2024. What have I done to myself, friends? Okay, I've moved you over here to try to make it not terrible, but I digress. Okay, so top goals. I've been working on the same top goals since 2020 because my reading completely changed. The rhythm, the flow of my reading completely changed with the pandemic, like a lot of people's. So I am working on disability lit, indigenous lit. You can see part of my indigenous TBR behind me. Books in translation. That's usually always on my list. Because I work in new books in the United States. The United States, as we all know, really struggles with books in translation and getting them out into the world. Poetry, books about writing, Appalachian literature, food and cuisine. And then new for this year are all the books I missed because of the pandemic. And so that is 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023 because as a disabled person, the pandemic is ongoing. So I have so many books that I need to catch up on. In fact, most of the books you see behind me are from those years because my reading I went from reading over 200 books a year to reading, 130 books a year. But 70 fewer books per year. It just adds up. It does. And it's not like I'm pressuring myself to read more books than I want to. I do want to be able to read more books. I'm just frustrated, I guess, where my mental health is, but I digress. We'll go in that later. Then there's also backlist books. Now these are what I'm counting, anything before 2020. And because anything that has survived this long that's published in 2019 or earlier are books I really want to read. Like, I have all of Sarah Waters, and I've never even read a single Sarah Waters book. Like, I had a whole plan for 2020. Up in smoke. Up in smoke. Anyway, so that's the plans for, for all of this. So that is the end of the year book tag. Thanks so much to Ariel Blissett for originally creating it and for Jen Campbell for doing it again this year and reminding me that it exists. I really appreciate it. And yes, so that's it. That's the video for this week. I'm currently still filming my fall reading vlog, so stay tuned. That will come out in a little while. But yeah, I guess that's it for me. I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye, friends.